What's up, gang? Uncle Travis coming to you from the Brentwood area today, where we're doing a full-on liner replacement. This homeowner's been having issues with their stream leaking. The pond is holding water, but we all kind of talked about it, and it makes the most sense to just take everything out, blow it up, as we say, and start from scratch. So we've talked about this a couple of times, but I'm going to show you one thing I noticed straight away. There's two things about this biofalls that are a little different. It's not connected at the bottom like we normally would, but we know it's holding water because it's full of water right now. This guy is where the water source comes from. Whoever built this just ran the plumbing up here because it sits above ground, and they're just dumping the water in the top. It works, it's cool. I'm terrified to find out what's in the bottom of this, so I'm gonna have somebody else drain it and clean it out. Let's take a look at what the guys are doing downstream. So just digging gravel out, getting ready to pull this liner out. You might think when a liner comes out of a pond, it's super dramatic and all at once. It's actually, it goes in steps. What we like to do is get some gravel out, cut the liner in strips, and then carry it out like a stretcher with gravel on it. It keeps us from having to move the gravel more than we have to, because that's too much like work. This is a big ass pile of rocks. Now, we've been here about 2 hours. We took this thing apart like SEAL Team 6, and they usually come apart faster than they go back together. It's kind of funny that way. But this homeowner didn't want us to do any carving or anything like that, kind of to make it a JVI pond. So we're literally just going to put it back together the way it was to the best of our abilities and reuse these rocks. And then of course, we're going to wash all this crap off of them, because who wants to pay for a brand new pond and then have it look like that? Wrestled a bolt out?
Yeah.
Love it. How's it going?
I mean, I just started, but.
It's the prettiest pond builder in Nashville. Hey, Austin.
Hi.
And check out these frog eggs.
Are you gonna do anything with those eggs, or are they just gonna get destroyed?
I mean, you could eat them if you want, but. You want to eat a frog egg?
Can you really eat them?
You can eat anything if you're brave enough. This technique's called what?
We forgot to say shovel.
It's rare. So this skimmer is only 2 years old. We installed it a couple years back. And I know I've talked about it in other faceplate videos. We always goop up the outside of the screws to preserve them. Never had to take them off, or let alone so quickly after being installed. I just dropped a bolt, and now I gotta stick my hand down in here. It's good. You good. Fish poop's one thing. Sticking my hand down in a snake's face is totally different. That's 3 too many. Cut this at the top, and basically this lower bowl that you're standing in, Avery, cut it out like it's a 7x10 liner. Because if those guys are mortared in, I don't want to change that. We'll just edge treat up to it like we normally would and just hide it. Depending on who you're talking to, these are called capstones or coping stones, and they were mortared in on top to hold them in place. We don't do mortar stuff, so no big deal. We're just gonna cut this old liner out as tight as we can, and then we'll just bring our new liner up, edge treat it however, we would to hide it, normally. So the guys have that section cut out down there. I'm cutting this section here, which I'm gonna leave the one in the middle. Then we'll have the geo underneath, that'll come out. You wanna split that stuff, or you're gonna eat it all yourself?
Oh, I'm not that hungry yet. That bacon, egg, cheese has tied me over.
All right, let's see if we can't get this out of here. So whoever built it, they knew that it was dangerous to put your liner up and use these instead of dirt to backfill to do your wall. And they've done what I'm gonna do anyway, and put 2 layers of geo here to protect it. There ain't shit for you guys to do if I go get another liner. You guys could work on the stream, put it back together, and I could go get one to do the bottom. That being said, take this top piece of geo that we just put in here, put it in the stream, pad this up. Don't do any rock work past this right here, because we got to bring the pond liner up to there so we can bib over down in. What is up, gang? Okay, we're here at the end of day 2, and we've got a finished, rebuilt, refurbished pond with brand new liner. Like, we've got all the liner covered and it looks great. Homeowners super happy with it. I think it looks awesome. But it's always interesting to me to see how many rocks are left over, so we'll take a look at that in a bit. You know, you saw in the before pictures, this thing was a muddy, bloody mess. So we had almost as much time cleaning and rinsing this as we did getting the rocks in just the basin and the falls yesterday. That's a good case for fall netting too, kids, if you're paying attention. We did not build this pond initially, so the height of the waterfall that was existing versus the height of the skimmer that we installed a few years ago is a little off. So we definitely wanted to use the Aquascape 1000 skimmer with the adjustable door. We just couldn't get our skimmer low enough to be at that optimum 3/4 of an inch below the opening of the weir. So the adjustable door on the weir lets you drop that down to get that 3/4 of an inch. So great product. I love how this stream turned out. When the original builder did it, they didn't do anything wrong. They just did a different style where they came in and kind of did some pooling areas and deep spots, and over time the gravel had just settled down in there, and more gravel was added to the edges where it had settled from. And what happened was it leveled out, and there was that much gravel in there, which is anaerobic sludge, and it was impossible to keep clean. So we did some interesting stacking up here in the stream I'll talk about. I took some of the extra rocks and just kind of built a retaining wall on the sides to hold the edge gravel back, so we were able to keep that wash in from happening in the future. So we're able to have a good 4 or 5 inches of depth of water through here. Nice deep stream, looks really cool. Nice little babbling brook sound. The original grade on the turf is the ground is just right here, and it kind of comes in with a hump right here and it breaks away. So I filled the low spot in with some gravel and rocks here to get kind of a 2-level babbling brook effect. Nice simple little flat stack weir coming off, a little subtle movement over the gravel. These are sometimes my favorite ones to do because you're working up against the confines of what someone else did. It's kind of like having a restriction, because we weren't supposed to do any carving on this, just work with what was here. Sometimes it's a challenge, sometimes it's fun. This one was super fun. This is what was left over. So imagine that pond down there having all of these rocks in it. They probably gained another, I don't know, probably close to 100 square feet of just visible water where it's not just filled up with rocks and stuff. So there you have it, gang. 2-day little rebuild, little rehab, liner replacement down here in Brentwood. It's a beautiful day. Supposed to get some winds tonight, so I already sent the crew back to get everything buttoned up and ready for tomorrow. Got a little cleanup to do here myself. Pop in my earbuds, listen to some music. In the meantime, do me a favor, like, follow, share, subscribe, leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know what your water feature is looking like, if you maybe want to do a rebuild, liner replacement yourself. Meantime, Uncle Trav, see you next time. Cheers.